What's up, America? My name is Tommy Wilkes, and I'm a part of the Talkin' Trash podcast here with Tim Snyder and Mike Oxley. Doing a little host intro here. It's a pleasure to be with you. And this is our 34th episode of this wonderful podcast focused on addiction recovery. I am 9 months sober. I got my 9-month chip at an AA meeting on Friday, and I'm super stoked to be here and to talk recovery with you. You know, it hasn't been easy, but you know what? I'm making it work, and I'm happy to be sober and happy to be with you today. And, you know, we're going to talk a little sports. We've got Spain winning the Euro Cup final today. They beat England 2-1. Carlos Alcaraz beat Novak Djokovic, the Joker, in three sets, straight sets. That's Andy Murray, but he did.
It's not the right guy.
He's retiring this year. So this guy you see on the screen is Andy Murray, but it was his last Wimbledon this year. But the winner was Carlos Alcaraz, a 21-year-old from Spain. So Spain having a great day today.
Yeah, they are.
And this was Carlos's fourth Grand Slam. He's 21 years old, so good for him. And then as we speak, Argentina and Colombia are playing in the Copa America final. And yeah, so a little sports action. You know, we're going to have some fun tonight. Got two great co-hosts with me, Tim and Mike. And, you know, it's been a little bit since it's been us three, just us three. We've had some great guests. We've got another great guest coming this Thursday, and looking forward to that episode. And yeah, we've got a clean time segment coming up. We've got a listener email that we're going to talk about. And yeah, you know, I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be a part of this podcast. My good friend Tim Snyder started this podcast several months ago and decided to bring me on as a co-host, and I could not be more thrilled to be a part of this. He sent me a nice new little light that, you know, I'm looking pretty good right now. Thank you, Tim.
No problem.
You know, got a nice little phone holder too. You know, you don't see the top of the book anymore. Mike,
Wow.
You love that.
Mhm.
But yeah, you know, we're here to help y'all, to help each other. And, you know, this is going to be fun. You know, talk a little sober living stories, you know, life after sober living, early recovery. You know, we'll share our experiences there. You know, we'll get some questions from Mike Oxley. Mike had a dinner with his son last Friday, and, you know, is back with us. And I'm loving this music. It's keeping me going.
Yeah.
And yeah, Talking Trash, we are here live, and I would like to introduce my other co-host, Tim Snyder. How are you doing tonight, buddy?
I'm doing great. I love you doing the intro. This might be a new job for you. I think I'll get real for a second because we've been joking around on the phone in the pregame show. Tommy said it right. You know, he's awesome for this show. You know, and he's honored. Like, not a lot of people would be honored. They would like to do it, but they don't want to invest their time and shit. And I already cursed. We're 4 minutes in, and I already cursed. I'm sorry, Mom. But Tommy's a great addition. He was a no-brainer. You know, we had him on for a cameo shot, and that was the end of it. He was all in. So thanks, Tommy. We're happy to have you. We're happy to have Mike. He's like the glue that holds us all together. Me and Tommy are both idiots, so Mike keeps us kind of level. But we have a good time, especially talking about a hard subject. So thank you, Tommy, for letting me introduce myself. How about you?
Yeah.
What's going on with you, Tommy Wilkes?
I'm doing great, man. Like I was saying, 9 months sober, and, you know, Giga Maggie's. I'm loving that. Tim, you did a great job on these, and we're about to see Mike's as well. But yeah, not a fan of the Philadelphia Phillies.
Yeah,
So
right,
just
you
to clarify that for you, America,
Yeah.
big Braves fan over here. Big Braves fan.
He's a big fan of the LA Kings. Go figure that out.
Yeah,
So.
LA Kings. You know, the Atlanta Thrashers were sold to Winnipeg, so had to choose a new team. Big hockey fan.
Yeah.
But yeah,
we connected there.
yeah, all around stand-up chap. I love it. Tim, thanks for putting these together. But yeah, I am happy to be your co-host, and we're gonna have a lot of fun.
Yeah. I mean,
How
it's our
about
show.
we
It's not just mine. Let's
introduce
talk
our
about
good buddy Mike Oxley?
Yeah.
There we go, Mike. And that,
You're
Mike, that's
you
a
at Lincoln
personalized
Financial?
jersey right here.
Michael. What do you ask questions?
Well, here I go. Well,
I'm still backstage.
Oh, it doesn't matter. We can still hear you.
Oh, you can still hear me.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that is the link.
Good Lord.
That is the link. It looks like somebody sat at a dirty table. It looks like there's a beer in front of me there, but
Yeah, that's not yours. No.
I must have sat at a dirty table. But that's the link. That's a Monday night game probably, and it must be early in the season because I'm
Yeah, you're
not
not
bundled up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like I sit in the suite
No, good point. Yeah.
all the time. Yeah.
And who wants to drink a beer when it's 85 degrees? Not me.
Do y'all have
Mike
season
doesn't.
tickets, Mike?
Not officially.
How many games do you go to a season?
As many as I can.
Well, out of
Give
out of
us
8
a
home
number.
games, out of 8 games, how many do you go to?
I
4?
try and do 4.
That's a good amount.
That's a lot.
'Cause, yeah, I mean, that's almost half the home games.
And he doesn't live like in Trenton or whatever where I live or Collingswood. He's in South Jersey, so it's not that close to him. But he goes up.
It's
and
about
roots over
40.
the birds.
It's about 45 minutes from me.
Oh, is it
But
right?
I'm sorry if I'm a little bit goofy, but I'm really tonight is Sunday night, and I'm a little shook up, to be honest with you. Still, from what I witnessed on television yesterday afternoon, as I was flicking the channels. I mean, it was just I know we don't get into politics here, but that was just something it just shook me up to know from a nursing point of view what brain matter looks like and how
Yeah.
close his brain matter
Yeah.
was to about cover the podium he was standing at. We're talking about 2 millimeters.
Yeah.
So depending
Let's-
on your political beliefs, either the devil won't die or God saved him. So
Yeah. Since we're on the
whichever.
topic, let's do the Star Spangled Banner because it's a day that is going to be infamous in American history. So.
Thank you, Tim, for that.
Yeah.
It gets me amped up right there.
I'll
But
run
yeah,
through a wall.
Right? But yeah,
Hey, so
as
Hogan,
Mike
that-
said, it's, crazy times right now. And you know what? But we got to power through it, and it happened, but I think the things go on. Life continues.
I
Like
agree
my
with
friend
Tommy.
Rodney
We've-
King
we've
said,
seen it. Oh my God, really?
Say again?
my good buddy Rodney King once said, "Can't we all get along?"
Mm.
Yeah.
That wasn't Rodney King. That was.
I'm
who was
sorry,
that?
you're right. It was Richie King. He works at the Burger King down here on Route 30.
All right,
Richie
Michael.
King. Sorry.
That's enough of that.
Richie.
That was Martin Luther King Jr. Now that I'm thinking about it.
Oh.
So yeah, it wasn't Rodney who got the hell beat out of him in Los Angeles. Martin Luther King, history.
He gave us during the riots. He said, "Can't we all get along?"
Okay, good point. I don't think anybody heard it other than you, but
Why can't we be friends? Why can't we be friends?
If I had a better
We
audio
are
collection.
family.
All right, you're this close to getting fired, Tommy.
Hey, we got to spruce it up here, Tim. I got a little serious there.
Sure. Yeah, it's nice. Alright, this is getting bad for our listeners in their car. Just so you know, I'm dancing on air. Couldn't see that, but I'm sure
wanna
inquiring minds
dance.
would like to know. Here's a side shot of me.
Oh gosh.
Isn't this funny? I'm a little heavy.
Sorry,
That's no big
listeners.
deal. Sorry, America. Yeah, I got
Yeah.
a second camera. I thought I'd try
Oh my
out, and it's
gosh.
over there.
He does
Hey!
wear pants. See that, America?
I'm only wearing pants for this episode. I'm doing it
Oh.
for the episode, and yeah, that's a struggle for me to wear pants. I don't like it. Not a huge fan of pants. So we
Okay.
got a lot going on in the world of sports. Take a couple minutes to take a look at what's going on abroad and what's going on here at home. So let's see here. Tommy, what do we got going on? You got the Euro Cup.
We got
won the Euro
Spain
Cup.
beating England 2-1 in the Euro Cup. England tied the game in the 70th minute, and then Spain got a late goal in the 86th minute to win their fourth Euro Cup.
Wow.
And then over in England, we had the Wimbledon final, the men's final. Carlos
Not this
Alcaraz,
guy.
that's not
Not
him.
this guy.
We've already been through this.
I thought it'd be funny.
Didn't we already do this?
Andy
Here's
Murray.
the thing. Here's
But-
the thing. I just Google things and I don't see what they really are.
Okay, we can barely hear you, Tim.
Oh, it's loud.
But okay, Masters of the Year, Apple TV. Okay.
How much? Yeah, there you go. That was from episode 6. I clicked on the wrong thing. The Flyers lost in the Winter Classic 6-3. And I love Silo on Apple TV. Now go ahead about the tennis. I don't know. I guess I picked the wrong guy. Sorry.
So yeah, well, it's all
America.
right. Andy Murray was a great player. This was his last Wimbledon, and so he had to withdraw from the singles, and he played one doubles match with his brother, actually, Jamie Murray, and they lost in the first round on center court. It was actually the first doubles match that was featured on center court for a first round since 1995. So that's a little fun fact for you tennis fans.
And that probably would have been the Serena, the Williams sisters, maybe. I don't know.
It was not.
No.
But
I'm just gonna put my picture up because I don't have Carlos Alcaraz.
oh my gosh.
Sorry.
So
anyway, go ahead.
yeah, Carlos Alcaraz is the future of men's tennis. He is 21 years old. He already has won 4 Grand Slams. We were thinking it was going to be another 5-set thriller this Sunday morning at the All England Club in London. But it was just a straight set victory for Carlos Alcaraz. The cheapest ticket was going for how much do you think, Tim? Take a guess.
$1,200.
Try $10,000. Your
That was off by a
cheapest
little.
ticket for
Are
the
you
men's
kidding me?
final, and they only got 3 sets. And so, because last year it was a 5-set thriller over 4 hours where Djokovic, or hold on, trying to remember who won. Yeah.
Alcaraz.
Yeah. Alcaraz won. Sorry. Alcaraz beat Djokovic in the 5th set. And so this year he steamrolled Djokovic.
Clearly.
Djokovic did have surgery. He had to withdraw from the French Open, and he had a quick surgery. So it was even a surprise for him to play Wimbledon. So you got to give it to the guy.
I'll give it to him.
He's 37 years old, almost 38, and he's crushing it. And so, but Carlos Alcaraz, I haven't got to watch the match yet, but, and then on the women's side, Krejcikova, Czech girl, she won the women's final, beat the Italian Paulina. So, not your most entertaining women's final, but hey, there's your little Wimbledon update from big tennis fan over here.
not a big entertaining sport overall. So sorry, America.
Well,
I
I
I have
mean,
touched. No, it
I
is.
think Roger Federer made it entertaining for a lot of fans.
He did. Yep.
I would give a shout out to a new documentary on Amazon Prime of Roger Federer's final days before retirement. It's a very good documentary, a little over an hour, and it's a tearjerker.
Is it?
So yeah, it's a very, very well produced documentary. So
Nice.
um
I'll have to check that
Von
out.
Drufus, no, Von Drufus won 2 years ago.
I thought that was the one. I'm all right. I'll stop trying to be.
No, you're good. She won last year though.
Okay.
That's
There
more
you go.
about tennis than I ever wanted to know.
Ever
in
want to
my
know? Yep.
life.
Never again.
Ever.
Well,
Tommy.
Mike, you
Never
got
again.
it, and our listeners love it.
And soccer.
Yeah, there's like a couple thousand people listening. There's gotta be a few.
Yeah,
And
so
a lot of our friends that
you're
are
always
facing
going to have the
addiction and
negative
family
Nancy's
are
in the
up in
world,
Wimbledon.
but
Both
hey,
of you guys talk. Both of you guys run over each other.
Negative Nancy over here, but hey, tennis is a fun sport. Pickleball's picking up. I used to think it was a wussy game, but you know what? During treatment, I picked it up, and I like it. I love it.
Yeah, where's
I
Tommy?
want some
he's
more
up
of
at the
it.
wiffle ball, or he's up at the pickleball court.
I
really
did not lose a
recovering up there.
match.
Really? You're undefeated?
While at treatment.
Wow,
I was undefeated. I lost a few sets, but I never lost a match.
So you beat the hell out of all the addicts. That's great, Tommy. What an accomplishment. What an absolute accomplishment. We're so proud of you. Yeah, you're something else. Bud.
Oh, do it. No,
I'm sure they were so focused.
Oh,
yeah, exactly. So real quick, the Wimbledon where they played held 40,000 people. Does that sound right to you, Tommy?
It's a good question.
Did they play in a major building or a soccer stadium or something?
Wembley?
Who cares?
Yeah, I don't know.
The All England Lawn and Tennis Croquet Club, which numerous expansions, has now the seating capacity of around 40,000. Are you kidding? That can't be right.
No, center court is 15,000 capacity. So that might be for the whole club.
Yeah, probably.
Like to entire patrons.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
All right.
But Wimbledon's on my bucket list to go to. French Open's on my bucket list. I went to the U.S. Open in 2013 with my parents. It was absolutely amazing. Got to see Federer, Djokovic, and Nadal all in like 3 days. So it was pretty cool. And I met Andy Murray in my hotel.
Yeah.
He was on my elevator going down. I was actually at the Trump International Hotel, overlooking Central Park. Little king baby there for your Mike.
No, this is the yuppiest thing I've ever heard.
And so I'm going down the elevator, and Andy Murray is across from me, and so I'm starstruck. And so we exit the elevator, and he's like right beside me, and he's going to his match. And I leaned over to him, and I was like, "Good luck, Andy."
Gave him a blowjob.
And he sorry, Vicky, for Tim. And so and then real quick. And so and then he was like, "Thank you." And so I got that. I didn't ask him for a photo.
He said thank you.
He said thank you, and he made eye contact.
And he gave you his room number and a key, right?
Right. And then 30 minutes later, I saw Steven Tyler in the lobby of Aerosmith.
You are the most yuppie person I know that is in recovery. Most people, they're like half dead. You are.
Yeah.
I personally would not know Andy Murray. Speaking of bucket list, if he was pooping in the lobby into a bucket, I still want to know.
Mike. We know.
That's disgusting, Mike. I mean,
yeah,
we're trying to keep it clean around
we
here.
know.
We are the Talking Trash podcast. Yeah, so that's fun. We'll stop talking about that. What else? What do we got? I got some.
Just
stuff
because you
lined up
can't
here.
play tennis, Mike, doesn't mean you have to hate on it.
Oh.
I can't play tennis either. Trust me. You hit
Anyways, recovery.
Yeah, recovery. Let's get in here. We've gone around the room.
Let's get down and dirty here.
Yeah. It's funny. My notes here say intro self, be funny, make people like you, tell Tommy to shut the fuck up. So, that's fine. STFU. Just joking around. We like each other.
Oh man.
And then
see, America, I told you we would have some fun.
Yeah. See, number 6 says, I don't know why, it just feels right. I think that's talking about you still. I chaired my first meeting on Friday.
Yeah, tell us about that.
And I chaired again tonight because the chair didn't come up. So
nice.
I just chaired 2 AA meetings. And they know I'm not Suboxone and all this. They don't care. Listen, everybody's dying. Everybody says it. Who cares if they're doing something not to do that? So everybody's really cool at the Clarksville. There's 3 meetings: the 12 and 12 open discussion. They have 3 meetings that are different each time, and I have a commitment to do the Friday meetings, and we just share. You read a book, and you're like, "Who's got the preamble? Thanks for reading. Don't smoke on the property. Blah blah blah. Nothing
Yeah.
special." So I'm just there, and everybody's looking at me like I hate
And
them
are you
so much.
choosing the discussion leader, Tim, when you chair?
Tonight I did, yeah.
Okay.
I did family relationships, and that was a good one. Everybody
Oh,
jumped
so
on.
you brought the topic.
Yeah, we bring the topic.
Okay, because sometimes like you got a chairperson and then you've got a discussion leader. So
Yeah,
you did both.
Yeah, I guess I do both there.
Wow.
I don't know. I do everything, and everybody jumps on. So they're cool. Everybody's really cool there. I dropped my Mac card, and somebody gave me a call, and I went back and got it. Yeah, I've just been frazzled. So that's been a nice addition to my life, is finding a local group so close and so many meetings, and you get to used to each other. And I mean, it really is the best AA experience I've ever had.
That's
I've
awesome.
only been going a month.
Yeah.
And they said, tonight somebody said, I forgot where I was going with this, but yeah, it's a good time. The people are cool. Somebody made a really great point tonight, and I can't remember it. Well, AA is great. I'm glad I'm involved. That's really it. Thanks for introing me, Tommy, my friend.
Are you still trying out the Celebrate Recovery meetings too?
Absolutely not.
Because you said you went to one and wasn't a fan of them.
I went to 3, and
you went to 3.
No good.
Yeah.
They all seem to house PHP guys, where they take them all. They take us to church on Sunday. That's what it is. It's like 98% them and 2% me and my mom. So, not my favorite thing in the world, but to each his own. I'm a Christian.
Are they the ones that are very religious?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. So it doesn't bother me. I go to church every Sunday or every other Sunday. I believe in God. I believe in afterlife. I believe in whatever the world doesn't need to know. And I don't need to go to a meeting that's pounding that down in my head. I need to go to somewhere else where I find camaraderie and connection, be a part of. And I think I found that, which is a nice thing.
It's good.
Yeah, Celebrate didn't ring true with me.
Yeah.
So, and Mike, what are you doing for your recovery? Nothing. You suck.
I'm working out at physical therapy. I'm doing exercises at home.
Yes, he
My
does.
physical recovery is an ever evolving problem. A year ago, I was in a wheelchair, and I walked up the stairs to do this broadcast tonight. So that's all going good.
Amazing.
Well, we know you struggle to get to the camera every night, so we appreciate you. And we kind of went through this with you, even though we weren't around a year ago. We watched you go on vacation. We watched all your milestones. Grandkids coming, and it's just, you're such a sweet man. And to piggyback off what Tommy said, we're grateful to have you, and you're grateful for us.
Oh,
And everybody loves each other. Blah blah blah.
This has done great things, and if I can help one person or just give somebody a piece of advice that they're not used to hearing from a nurse, then it's all worth it.
And he's the kind
this
of guy
is therapy
that does
for
that,
me
Tommy.
too.
Yeah.
He's the only nurse that I've ever connected with heterosexually, and he's sorry. He was great. Like, it was my first time in treatment, and he listened to me. He didn't listen to. I mean, not everybody listens to everybody. It's treatment. Everything's crazy. Here's the shit. Do your thing. Mike had this demeanor where he looked like, you want to talk to me? Talk. And I did. And we went outside for cigarettes, and we were friends by the end of my treatment. And here we are 4 years later, and he's on my podcast. So it means something. The work.
6 years.
Whatever. Was it 6 years?
Yeah, it was
Can't be 6 years
2018.
ago. Oh,
2018.
All right. So I didn't know that. So I just, I love him. I appreciate him. And I know the whole place we worked out loved him. So yeah, thank you, Mike, for your service. Let's, what do you want to do here, Tommy? Shake things up a little bit. You want to do clean time now?
Yeah, let's jump into some clean time.
All right, let's get in. Me one, Mike
My
two.
favorite part.
Yeah, same here. Here is your clean time segment. We've got Andreas Estrada
I didn't mean to have
Something
the.
days. Eric Adap, 30 days. Way to go, buddy. David D, 34 days. Nikki Starnes, 42 days. Steve W, 42 days. Cassidy B, 67 days. Tony J, 72 days. Looking good, buddy. Jared Black, 81 days. Maria Gladden, 72 days. Frank Kinney, 93 days. Almost to 100, buddy.
Yeah, there.
Stuart G, 91 days.
There he is. Good listener.
Creepy.
Long time.
Mandy Jean, 112 days. I agree, Mike. Jamie Michelle, 118 days. Oh, our good friend Michael V, 166 days. I chill with him. Ricky McVicker, 167 laps. Keep
A lot
running.
of laughs.
Patricia Patich, 220 days. There we go. Yours truly. Tomas, 277 days.
There he is.
Our buddy William Douglas, 280 days. Timothy S, 471 days.
Yep.
Amelia Porto, 590 days. Way to go. Stella Montez, our girl, 833 days. April Pritchard, 2 years and change. Casey Baxter, 3 years and change. Jeffrey S., the bill collector, 3 years. Lisa Milton Woke, 6 years.
Her full name.
And
Tina C.
our Tina C, 7
Tina.
years. Matthew
Matthew.
Gillespie, new friend of the show. We love you, buddy. 12
Great
years.
supporter. The most important member of any meeting is the newcomer. Always remember that.
Newcomer.
They need you. They need you. So first we got Anthony Seals. 2 days. We're with you, Anthony. All good. Daniel G, same thing. 8 days. My boys are hanging in there and they're staying in touch. That I appreciate. Brian Cobb, 25 days. Way to go, kid. And that is it for your Clean Time segment for July 14th. It works if you work it. If you want to be on Clean Time, give me an email or whatever. There's so many ways to get in touch with us. Tim@trash-podcast.com. And on our social media, Spotify, Apple Music, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, whatever. I read through all of them. No excuse not to get in touch with me. And do yourself a favor, people. Get some Narcan. It's everywhere. Go get it. Sick of people dying from heroin overdose. You can get it. If you want one, call me. I will send you one personally. So,
And pay for shipping.
Hey, guys.
Yes,
If
buddy.
you have a
Hey,
couple
what?
minutes, could we talk about sober living houses? How you transition from the detox facility you're in? Do you go right from detox or do you go after inpatient rehab? Where in the line of succession to sober living? Is that the last thing before release?
No, sober living is after actually, it's after either detox or
Yeah,
or
it can
residential.
depend.
One or the other.
But usually it's after residential treatment.
Right.
Because after detox, you're usually going to a program.
Mhm.
But yeah, it depends on, the case. But
It's a legal
Yeah.
thing. They have to find you aftercare. They can't just kick you out
Yeah.
on the street. They can't
yeah,
have you not see a doctor. I mean, if you get into a detox or a rehab, you're either 7 to 10 days at the detox and then graduating. They'll find you a place too. But the better counselors, the ones that have more resources, is residential. The place me and Mike worked at, they had a detox section, 10 people at a time, and then it's 7 to 10 days, they move them over to residential, and you do another 24 days or something. So they'll find you a place, detox or residential. They can't not. So you just gotta. We always say, advocate for yourself, get involved. If you're leaving after detox, I do not. I don't do it honestly, because you're fragile. The Suboxone is wearing off. Now all of a sudden you're going into withdrawal and you've just left. Now you're not under their care. They can't help you. Mike can't give you a visceral. You're sitting at home and you're like, I'm getting sick now. And that happens. Suboxone has a very long half-life. So from the last thing you take, you might not go into withdrawal till 96 hours. Usually it's 72 hours. So that's a trick. It's 3 days after you leave. You get down to 2 milligrams. They cut you off, and you're headed out of there. If you choose to go home, but even if you're going to a sober living right out of detox, um, that's a tough place to be in, boys. I mean, sober living or residential. I'm I'm just I've always said people need 90 days. Like even residential, there's stuff taken from them. 90 days cut from the
Now,
society.
when you go to a sober living, now Tim, I know you went to a few of them. They're not necessarily affiliated with where you just were, correct?
No,
No,
Okay, so this
mine
is just
was
out of the middle of nowhere. It could be any place. How do they make their money? Do they charge you money to be in a sober
rent.
living house?
yeah, you have to put a deposit down, and if you
Usually
can't,
you put a deposit. Yeah.
every time I've gone, I put down a $500 deposit that I never saw again. Or one place gave me the refund because they were at fault. But like, yeah, you go to a sober living. There's a ton of them everywhere, but the discharge planner has to talk to you about it. But listen, I've been in situations where like the day before they're like, "You're discharging tomorrow. Come in my office. We'll find you a place." I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" So the last time I went to sober living, I did it all. By the time they said that to me, I'm like, listen, I'm already set up. I've already made a few phone calls. I don't need you. And that put me in the best sober living environment that I've ever been in. And because of that, I'm 400 and whatever days sober today because I utilized it and I didn't go and get high. And people don't understand. They don't. They're like, you need to go sober living. You're an addict. You can't live at a house. You're gonna steal stuff and you know. Come on.
What about
Yeah,
food and stuff and your basic needs?
you don't you're eating their fucking leftover stale bread. Like that's listen, there's a problem with the system, and we said it last time. There's a paradigm change that needs to happen. I love that word. I feel smart when I say it. So you even if you complete 28 days of or detox and residential, the setup that what they go by is next to sober living, and we'll put you in our PHP. You can get on virtually, and nobody does this PHP program. So like they try to get you when they get you into an Oxford house or whatever. They try to still make money off you. You go to your I don't know what it means. I've never finished a PHP program other than Enlightened Solutions. Um, but a online virtual program, nobody's doing it. So like, no, the system is not good, and I've said it a few times. I'm not damning anybody, but let's change it. Let's because nobody listen. The recidivism rate is high. It's over 70%. I know that. And people are either coming back in or they're dying. And
If you're fresh out of rehab, be it detox or residential, how do you live? How do you is it a big house with a big room? Is it like a jail? What the heck is
it's
it?
it's a
Like a
little
hotel?
house. It's a little house, not even close to a hotel. It's due to the shithole. Um, the place has been housing addicts for however long it's been open, 10 years. Oxford House is really their own thing. But they have a reputation for being rough, like people relapsing, and there's good sober livings. There's sober livings that are higher up on the scale of like good sober livings versus bad
Yeah, I
Like
sober
mean
hotels,
livings.
like a
the one I
five-star
went the
hotel
one I
or a
went to
one-star
was
hotel.
was good. The
Yeah,
one I went
Tom,
to was associated with the program I went to, so I was in a unique circumstances because that's not usually the case.
it's not, but you
Um,
lucked out with good
uh,
landing. I mean, honestly, it's kind of similar. It wasn't like a
yeah,
Oxford
yeah,
house.
yeah. In Good Landing, we were
Thus
it
the
was
name Good Landing.
PHP. We were yeah,
Yeah, I don't care anymore.
but but at the impact program where I went to in Birmingham, they had very nice apartments in Mountain Brook, which is a nice neighborhood. So, Mike, to give you an idea of what I was doing, is we continued classes. So, we're doing morning classes, we're continuing step work, but we're doing it at the sponsor level. So like we're approaching the steps as like how we would sponsor someone. And so, and this is right after going through the steps. And so the program's set up really good to help you succeed. And so I I had a good experience. And the other thing I will share is that what we found, as far as the relapse rate, the people that are not going to sober living after residential treatment are relapsing at a 75% rate.
I just guessed the
Now,
Well,
number.
Now,
Who pays the bills is what I'm saying. I mean,
Hmm.
if you're going from rehab,
the patient.
detox to residential,
The patient pays
well,
the bills.
where's the
Yeah,
guy
well, no,
supposed to get the money to
this
do this?
depends.
Exactly.
Is there
Well, yes, I'm
grants?
just sharing my
Yeah.
experience.
Tommy's.
Yeah,
Yeah. Go
I'm
ahead, buddy.
sharing my personal experience.
We'll ask questions
And
after you're done.
yeah, so my personal experience was, my second program was not insurance based. So it was private pay. So, yeah, that's unique.
It is.
I was blessed. And so the sober living I went to was $5,000 a month. That was more expensive than a normal sober living. Normal
Yeah.
sober living is going to range from like 1,000 to 1,500 a month.
Yeah.
But I was getting all the classes and everything like that as a part of my sober living. But I ended up doing 2 months, and so the thing that I was saying earlier is that the relapse rate of people not going to sober living after the 6-week 42-day 12-step program were relapsing at a 75% rate.
Wow.
They were only relapsing at a 25% rate if they went to the sober living. So now they're changing the program to where they're reducing the amount of days that you go and do the 12 steps in the barn, like in the facility, to 30 days. And then everyone is going to go to the phase 2, which is sober living. And so they just changed that. But I had a very good experience in sober living. I was with about 5 or 6 other guys. We were doing step work as far as like how to sponsor guys. And anyway, we went to an AA meeting every night. We did service work. So we volunteered at the food bank. We, did exercise each day. They gave us memberships to Planet Fitness. So we exercised for an hour each day. There really wasn't much downtime, which is good. They're trying to get you back into structured lifestyle. For me, it was a really good transition, it's coming back into the real world because, I'm set up on a, pretty structured schedule in sober living. And so, that gave me a good transition back into the real world. Now, Mike, you were asking about, other people, going to sober living. Yeah, if they can't afford it, I mean, that's an issue. That's the issue at hand. Okay. I mean, that's America where, okay, they might have to get a job but some sober livings will give scholarships.
Yeah.
And so,
And
but that's
grants.
just how it works.
There's grants that they hand out, and the discharge
Yeah, there's
planner,
grants.
they know how, like, if you're sitting at the discharge planner and you're figuring out your 28th day and it's day 24, there's always a guy on the other computer filling out something for a grant to get into Oxford House, and they usually get it. If they don't, the Oxford House will, well, it depends on who's running it and what house it is. They may give you a couple of weeks, a month to pay your fee for coming
Okay.
to the program. So
But
yeah,
you
there's
can also sorry, Tim, but I was
yeah,
just
go
going to
ahead, go
say
ahead.
some of the sober livings might let you work during the
Okay.
day. And
It
then
might.
there's required classes at night.
Okay.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's so much different from what I did in New Jersey. Not that anything's right or wrong, it's whatever works for you, but that was not sober living for me. Sober living was, here's your house, go get a job. We don't care what you do, pay your rent, don't get high. I mean, it was
Yeah,
bare
and
bones.
maybe the classes like I think because I researched a couple when I came back, and Tim, I think you're actually more right. I think what I was referring to is like group meetings. I think it's more of check-ins
Yeah,
that they have that are required, not classes. Some now, Mike, there are some sober livings that are like PHP as well. So like
yeah,
you're living, so kind of like what Good Landing was, but like we went to the facility each day, but like these guys are in apartments, but they're going to classes each day. So
right.
like there's also sober living. What Tim's talking about is where you're going to after treatment.
Yeah, and that's,
Yeah.
It sounds
that
like a
could be,
luxury to me.
it's a
It
hit or
does
miss.
because
Well, but
if
the people in
hear me out
there
for a second.
can be kind of rough.
Hear me out for a second. I'm a guy with a wife and 2 kids at home. I have a problem. I finally admitted it. I went away. I did rehab. I did residential. What's paying the bills? Now I'm already 40 days in the hole.
Good point.
Now they want me to go live in a separate house. What about my bills at home that aren't being met? during this gap because I certainly didn't have a job during my. I didn't leave my job the day I got here. I was fired 3 weeks before that and went on a bender for 3 weeks. So there's already a month and a half behind that I wasn't a functional alcoholic. Now you want me to come live in another house with a bunch of strangers, pay rent there, and I still got to worry about my wife and 2 kids?
Yeah.
That's a fantasy.
Two
That's
things I
not
can
the real
add.
world.
What I can add to that is that's a great point, Mike. I mean, honestly, that is real world shit. So like, you know, if you go to sober living, if you go from their inpatient program to sober living, this place is actually a detox for sober living. But if you go from your moderated and whatever, like whether you keep an eye on you and there's a doctor and all that stuff, that's not normal. And what I experienced with Tommy wasn't normal. I mean, I was clean 200 or 300 days or whatever, but me and Tommy experienced a PHP program that lasted 90 days. I mean, that's great, but like same thing over and over again. And you got guys that don't want to be there, like half of them, maybe
Yeah.
more, are court ordered, and the clientele are rough. I mean, there's people that take to the program, and
Yeah.
that's great. I've seen it, and you know, God's in that room with
And
us.
you're
But
usually
And
in an
5,000 a
apartment
month,
with
it's
3
no
other
joke.
guys.
yeah, $10,000 a month,
Fi-
or for the whole program is crazy to me.
$5,000 a month. Does that come with meals?
Oh, the one I was at?
Yeah,
Yeah.
No.
$5,000 a month.
Oh
No.
my
No.
God.
So what do
I
you
think
do for food?
You
Go buy
provide
it.
your own?
Mhm. See, a good land,
You
the
can
place
cook
me
and
and Tommy,
stuff.
Yeah.
what place
You
where me
provide
and
your own
Tommy were
food?
at. Tommy, did you get food stamps? What they were trying to
Yeah.
offer it? You
Yeah,
got
I
them, right?
did.
Which is crazy
Yeah.
because you can spend five
So
thousand
I
a month at a
still
rehab.
I still had some
Yeah, that's good.
from when I was at Goodland. Yeah, so that's
So
what
that's
I
a good
used.
point too. The other place where we were at, which was a PHP program, kinda,
They helped you
they
get on food
yeah,
stamps, yeah.
they helped you get on food stamps. That's the
Yeah.
best thing I got from that place. Other than
Yeah,
that,
same.
fucking
Now,
kidding me?
I mean, I think they bill you monthly. Now, did the country club take stamps to pay the bill or no?
No, you can
Okay,
trade them. You can trade them for drugs like they did at my place,
No
right.
comment.
Buying
our
stamps,
place.
buying stamps. I,
Yeah,
I see it all the time. I see it on
all the time.
Facebook around here.
Oh yeah. Anybody want
But
some of
no, I
these
mean,
stamps?
sober living seems like a luxury, even for the moderately priced ones. To
Yeah,
me, you've already put your life on hold.
It's
It would
probably
be
a
great
luxury
if you
from the
could.
life you were living before.
sure. I mean, if you were shooting up
True.
Yeah.
at a puddle water, and
Yeah.
you
Right.
know, but like I said, like there's so many people who can't afford it. They have no
Yeah,
options,
that's
and
that's
This
the
is
issue,
where the
Tim.
family has to get involved and realize that your recovery really doesn't start the day you're done
Yeah.
detox or the day you're
right,
done residential.
Yeah.
It's
right,
it's part of it. And we've talked about it before. They're coming out of the building and the wife or the mother and father are like, okay, well, you need to go back to work. Well, it's just the bills are going on. There's no safety net.
yeah,
They've already ruined them financially. How
right,
do I do this sober living house? I just can't do it.
yeah,
So, you would think the motivation to go back to work, but they're going back into the same things that they just rock bottomed on. I It would be great if I could put life on hold for another month and
hmm,
really get myself together. But if the family was educated from the get go, from day one on this stuff, honestly,
yeah,
instead of how to deal with and be tough love when he relapses, if they were part of this whole process and understood that he's going to be living at this other residence for a month and the benefits of such, it may go smoother if they
right.
can hold on for another month.
Agreed.
You like the benefits are like a lot of people that go to sober living and have it are in. It's all inclusive, right? Like these places. Me and Tommy went to the place Tommy went to. Um, Families look at it like, well, he's leaving for another month. Here we go. But
Here we go
honestly,
to a
if
frat
you,
house,
yeah, it's listen. I I've
pretty
been
much.
anyway. If the family they say, all right, him doing this results in him not doing that again. You know what I mean? Like it
Yeah.
results in a higher.
Big picture
Then,
stuff.
but they should see that. They don't. Not all of them. Some do. Some are like Tommy's family, where they're just like, get better. We love you, and here's everything you need.
Whatever you need. I mean,
Hmm.
like I said, it's not the norm. It would be
Yeah,
it
I
would
was
be
lucky.
great if that was, and people just got that extra month to get back to semi-normal and going to work and It's not like it's just, especially here. I don't know about Georgia, Atlanta area, but in New Jersey, a lot of the recovery is based upon fentanyl and dope and
Yeah, that is a
some
good point.
alcohol. It's such a luxury, and their lives are so ruined. It's like the family doesn't even know. What do you mean you got to go somewhere for another month?
Yeah.
You must not have. It's like summer school. It's how wives and families look at it. Like you didn't do your homework
Yeah.
and pass the rehab. Now you got to go to summer school.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
don't get it. They
Yeah.
don't get
Yeah.
it. That's
See,
why these families have to be educated more through Al-Anon. Maybe they could,
Yeah.
or Alateen or whatever it's called, to kind of, instead of what they're teaching them about what you did wrong to enable. Why don't we all get on the same page? Remember, I said it should be called "How to Deal with the New Him," and this is going to be part of the new him. He's going to
it's a
go here
mouthful.
for a month. Bring them as part of it, and you might get more people that would help
Right. It's
and
two,
participate. I
and a
think you're
perfect.
right, Tommy. It's key. Now,
Yeah.
here's what I want to know: what's the funniest thing in one of these group homes? Because you're in your late 30s, you've had a wife and children. Tommy, you've been independent for 15 years yourself after graduating college. Now all of a sudden you're 37. It's been a long time. You get into this group house. What are you thinking? What's going on?
So you want
Well,
to know
I've
the
got a
funny?
good one for you, Mike.
All right. Yeah.
My
Go ahead.
roommate in sober living was 74 years old.
Good one.
What's he
I'm
gonna learn?
dead serious. My
He's,
roommate for 2 months, good guy named James from Alabama, and big Tide fan. But yeah, I mean it was different. I mean we got along. I heard a bunch of his stories.
sure you did.
So oh, man,
That's how they
but
run
it
around here.
reminded me of being with my grandfather, honestly. But
Yeah.
yeah, I
Moonshine
mean,
stories,
Yeah.
probably.
oh man, you name it. He his memory was really good.
Back
But
when I got high.
yeah, he
There were sticks
got like
and
10
teeth.
DWIs.
Did he really?
I mean, this yeah. So he got
Racking them up.
two.
Racking them up. Racking.
He got two in 10 days, and they were like, you're going to go to a year in jail, or you can go to treatment. And so he went to Impact. He
So he's paying for that, obviously.
He's retired. Clearly.
he gave his business to his son, but yeah, he
He's
retired.
good.
And so he left Impact the first time, like in the fall, like he got to 37 days and he left, and then he
He did it
relapsed
twice?
again,
This guy's got
and
some
he
dough.
came in, dude.
Christ.
He's a tornado, and
Is he
He's
ever?
hardcore.
yep. And so
Tornado.
he came
74.
back. He came back when I went through. And so, yeah, we ended up being roommates, and that was interesting. I mean, I will tell you, he got really angry. He had anger issues, and so that was a real test for me of an early sobriety, of dealing with him, and having patience. And so I will tell you that it was, God gave me some early tests.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Right out of treatment. But overall, my
Bet.
experience in sober living was good. Like we had a lot of
A
fun.
cranky old guy.
Yeah, he was very cranky.
Yeah.
How about you, Tim? What's your best one, Timmy?
You got an hour? You might want to get a coffee or something. Now, I think the best one was me. I guess I took too many Seroquel. I don't know, but I was pissing on the kitchen floor, and somebody comes across and they're like, "Bro, what are you doing?" I'm like, "That's cool. Sometimes I pee here. Whatever." That was bad. Needless to say, I was looking for a new home a few days later. So
I
that
see that happening.
and the other
How
one
many
happened,
sober livings have you been in, Tim?
I lost track. I don't know. I guess upwards of 10, maybe. I don't know. Like
And what was your longest stint?
um, the most recent one, I was there for almost a year. Yeah, 'cause
Wow.
I'm sober over a year. You know what I mean? Like I was not a year clean in October when I was coming down here. So I wasn't in a program. I entered a program clean, but I had just completed one for a very long time, which is why I was sober coming down to Georgia. Um, So anyway, the guy in there, he went psycho, right? The switch flipped. Older guy, maybe 65, 70, maybe the same thing, Tommy. And I knew he was going to crack. Like, I've been watching this guy, I've been studying him, right? Get to a point where he's in our house, not my roommate, but I'm studying this guy because he is red flag central. He's
Mm.
got every alarm going off that he's going to hurt somebody,
Or
out of
steal.
it. No, he was pretty good about. Nah, yeah, no, he stole. He had no food, no food card. We paid for his food, whatever. So like he's nuts. So I'm watching him in our groups, and he sat right where I could see him, and he cannot stop moving, fidgeting. We get on the van. He's sitting next to me. His legs are going, just like insanity. Like, so I tell the nurse, they couldn't give a shit less. I finally got him to our house managers. I finally got him to take him to a hospital because I'm like, yo, this guy needs to be 1013 or whatever you call it. He's not right. There's something wrong with him. So we took him to the hospital. Me, BB, and whatever that driver's name is. Oh, I shouldn't be mentioning names. That wasn't a name. That was an abbreviation. So we go to the hospital and we check him in, and of course they let him go on his way. So the hospital sucks. The rehab sucks. This guy needed help, and I made sure he got it, and he didn't get it. He didn't get to stay and go into psych ward, which is where he belonged. He needed to be locked down for a week and evaluated by a psychiatrist, but that's not what happened. They sent him out of the hospital, clean bill of health, nothing wrong with the guy. So fast forward to 2 a.m. that night, he's tearing fixtures off the wall, he's got the chandelier on the table. He's trying to do something with it with a butter knife. He's talking about his sister that's in the parking lot. She's changing his alternator. And I'm like, this guy's, everybody was awake. I come up. I'm like, of course he got nuts. Of course he did. He's throwing chairs off the balcony. Like, it was insanity. I watched this guy crack, and I knew it was coming, and he did. So this old guy was out of his effing mind, like just taking everything down. Like, he's got everything in the freezer out on the table. He's
I guess the police take them at that point.
I wasn't in charge, and if I was, I just got into a fight with the house manager too, about this, and I was just like, you know what, you don't want me
Oh,
help.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm like,
This
you don't
is
want.
where I was. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, I
I'm
didn't know
like,
that.
if you don't want me helping, then I won't. And that's a shame because I know what I'm doing, and I'm a good resource. But no, it's your house. We all know you're the boss. Got it. Everybody wants to be in charge in treatment. You know what I mean? Everybody
Yeah,
wants to work for treatment.
we're getting a little off topic there.
No, we're still here. So just
I
another minute.
mean,
So we are off top. Here, I got a bell I rang for our top.
yeah,
So yeah, I watched the guy have a psychotic breakdown,
but
and it was funny.
in Tim's defense,
Sounds
he was trying to help, and yeah, I mean, it's house manager got a power trip, but that Tim gives a good example of where in sober living there's some risk where you don't know the people and they could have these psychotic episodes, and that was
Or
the
drugs.
decision we made as a family where in Atlanta I came back to live at home in my parents' house because my parents moved me out of my place when I went to treatment. And so, the thought was, well, maybe go to sober living in Atlanta, but it was decided that would not be good for my recovery. That would really that would stunt my recovery.
Yeah.
And so we decided not to do that because of the risks involved. And the people there are 30 days sober, and
Yeah.
a lot of them are not even trying to stay sober.
No.
And so, but my sober living experience was good, so I'm blessed.
Yours is way different, and so was
Yeah.
GLR. They were way different too. But like a lot of these guys, they're just getting 3 hots in a cot. You know what I mean? And their
Yeah.
weekly bill keeps climbing. And the house manager's like, "Yo, bro, you haven't paid a rent in 4 weeks. Are you going to do anything?"
Yeah.
They can kick you out at that point. They have a family meeting and they kick you out.
Yeah.
But it's 3 hots in a cot. When they kick you out, you go right to the liquor store. You
Yeah.
down a pint and you call the rehab again, and you're like,
Yeah.
I need to come back. It's been 5
Cycle.
days
Yeah.
and I can't stop drinking. It's 5 days. So like they'll come and pick them up 40 minutes later, back in treatment for 28 days, leave, go to another Oxford house, fuck up, go back to treatment. It's ridiculous. And like there are such a few percentage of people who turn that into something positive. And they got to
Yeah.
battle. They got to battle. This guy's got drugs. He's my roommate. You know what I mean? They usually have
The
like three
odds
or
are
four
against you.
bedrooms. Absolutely. And you throw a kid in there where the mom and dad won't help him, and he needs help. And oh, here, go to a sober living house. Try and figure it out. Good luck. You don't have a car. You're sleeping next to guys who are hiding that they're doing crystal meth. You know what I mean? Like everywhere you look,
They're
it's a
not in the best
disaster.
neighborhoods
Nope.
usually.
No, they're
Usually.
not.
Yeah.
So I'm not damning them. I mean, some have a good reputation, some don't, and I kind of knew what's what. A lot of people don't. They don't understand, and they're like,
It
okay, you
sounds
say
like
I
choosing your sober living house is almost like a hotel, like 5 star or
yeah
1 star. You're
yeah
going to
it's
find
word
a
of
crappy one in Atlantic City, or you're going to find a one that has laser light shows or something for 5,000 a month.
Good
In
one.
the budget. And
That's
now, is that
funny.
a family meeting? But anyway, hey, why don't we do some emails and get the hell out of here?
All right, don't be don't push me. I'm trying.
Yeah.
We've had a
No, that was
disaster.
a good discussion. I mean,
It
because
was.
this is real life for people,
Yeah,
man. And
it
I
is.
mean,
To
some
do all
sober
that, I
livings
would like,
are better than others, but
I
you
will
know,
say the rehab I was at in Marlboro, New Jersey, that rehab, my last rehab, um, they let me stay almost 55 days, which is almost double what they offer, because I was on a waiting list for a good rehab. And I
mm,
advocated for myself. I got myself on that waiting list, and I was like number 4 when it started, and I was there like 15 days. So like my counselors, they all advocated for me. I think I was there for free after like 40 days. Like, I didn't see counselors or anything. So 50 something days, I finally get into this good place, and it was a good place. And that was a PHP program. So you had to wait, you had to get it. Most people aren't a veteran of their rehab, and they don't call their own shots. Me, I've been there 3 times. I know what to do. So like, if you don't know what to do, find somebody who does, because your counselors
yeah,
and all they don't know what the right thing is to do. They're changing as it all changes. So there are lots of options out there. Some people don't have the means to make that, but believe me, there's programs, there's houses, there's people that are good people in recovery. You you got to find a program where it's got a live-in um, monitor, like a guy in charge, a house manager, and it has to be structured. Like, this is when we eat, this is when we go to class, this is how it works. That's a real PHP program, unless they want to lock you up. But like Tommy's experience and my experience, just different. I knew it was 90 days. That was fine. That's what I wanted. And a lot of people can't do 90 days. Like you said, Mike, they got bills to pay. They got family up their ass. So you leave at 25 days and you're just the same person that went in. You didn't figure anything out with a therapist. You didn't stop to see what you need for your mind and your body. All of it's dual diagnosis. Everybody who's in treatment, they're nuts. And that's the point. So, like, people like the people that I knew, like that old guy, he snapped. And that's going to happen. There's
yeah,
going to be young guys that are playing the older guys, and they're getting high, and nobody knows
yeah,
knows the
yep,
difference. They
yep,
don't know what it looks like to get high. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So like, yeah, it's a fine line. It's definitely it's a hard thing to navigate, and
yeah,
that's where we come in. We get emails from people. What do I do? And like,
yeah.
it's pretty easy for me to tell them what they need to do. I don't tell them what they have to do. I tell them, listen, you do need a PHP program. Most people do. You know what I mean? So if you can't get in one, here's the problem. You go to rehab for 25 days, 30 days maybe, and on your 30th day, you don't know what you're getting into. You don't know what's going on. You talk to the discharge planner, I don't know, 10 days ago about where they're going to try and get you to go. You find out on day 29 that, yeah, you're going to this place. Good luck. They're the only ones that had beds open. It's in the hood, and you're going to have to carry your bed from the storage downstairs to your second floor room. That was me. I showed up. There was no actual bed. Dude's like, yo, bed goes there. All right, where's the bed at? It was in the basement. I had to go find it. Sure, there was bud bugs. It's just the system is not perfect. It doesn't
It's not.
doesn't it doesn't fit for anybody. Like Tommy's experience is awesome. That's nice that they're out there,
Yeah,
but most people, they can't do it, and
yeah.
it's rough. It's rough. We try to help people navigate it, but it's not easy. Yeah, people can leave at 25 days with no plan.
Yeah.
It's tough. That is
It is
tough.
tough. The
But it's
extra
a good
pressure that
question.
goes on a
Yeah.
newly recovered person, and
Yeah.
that was the whole point of this. Is that's a whole other stressor or trigger.
Yeah.
You're back to the pressure cooker
Yeah.
again. You're in there
Immediately.
trying to get better while you're getting that exterior pressure for
Yeah.
the bills, and the clock is ticking for
Yep.
your family. Well, you're going to miss Jimmy's birthday. You're going to be just at some house across town. You can't come over here for little Jimmy's birthday. I don't
Yeah.
understand. That
Yeah.
must mean you don't want to. You don't
Right.
love us. And so just that's why the families have to be educated on
Yeah.
everything.
Everything. And
Everything.
nobody is. The place we worked at, Mike, they had, it was limited, but they had family or people like that you're not getting along with. The counselor would step in and they mediate a session. I think Tommy
A family
experienced that
session,
too.
right?
Tommy, you experienced a family session, right?
Yeah.
So like some people won't do it. They look at it like we said last
Yeah.
episode. What do I have to do now? I have to do this. He's taking all this and now he has to take more of my time. So yeah,
Right.
it's a tricky thing to navigate. And it was
And more money.
oh yeah, and it was so few and far between. Like I don't know. On average, I guess like 5 people would actually have a family session. I have 130. So like it's not great, and that usually doesn't end well. It usually ends with everybody yelling at each other and accusing each other. So
Right. I would
like
have a couple AMAs right after a family session.
Mm.
no kidding. So like yeah,
That was
that's
rough. Some of them were
it's
rough.
the family stuff is. And listen, the point of these programs is this, and I tell everybody, even when I'm in the program and I know a little more, when I'm 150 days clean, here's the point of these programs. They say don't count the days, make the days count. Okay, that's great, but on day 28, are you prepared for that? That's the most important day. They say don't count days, just go with it and see what you can learn. You need to be
I got
focused
news
on
for
the
you.
last day.
I got news for you. All right.
Hmm.
The insurance company is counting your days. I can
I know.
guarantee you.
Yeah.
Yep, I know. I was, yeah, I know. So they'll say you're under review. You're at 20 days, but like I also was under. I had the experience of my counselor. I was sitting at my desk having a therapy session with her, and she's like, "Oh, you're leaving tomorrow." I'm like, "What the hell? I'm leaving tomorrow. I don't have anywhere to go. I don't know. Everybody's pissed at me." That's how it worked the one time, for a couple of times actually for me. So it's not planned for. They don't give a shit. They'll tell you you're under review. They'll tell you, okay, the insurance company wants you out. Um, you know, good. We'll find you a sober living. We'll get you in something. Don't worry. Yet we have 24 hours, plenty of time. So like that's their job. I don't do their jobs. They're probably underpaid. They probably deal with people that don't want to help, don't want to advocate for themselves. It is tricky. Getting into sober living is very tricky. Where you go, I've been to so many bad houses. Like I went to a house once, and I was there, and the house manager read me the riot act. This is how it works in my house. An hour later, an hour later, I'm shooting Narcan up his nose. 1 hour.
God.
1 hour.
Oh
I
gosh.
see,
Yeah.
I see him.
So
I see him laying on the floor.
yeah.
I'm like, where's your Narcan? They're like, I don't know. Where is it? I'm like, are you kidding me? Every sober living house I've been in, the
Yeah.
Narcan is on a wall, like in a case, like
Yeah.
a fire extinguisher. I was like, I gotta get out of here. You guys are crazy. And the one dude came down, and he was out of his mind on meth. So that was a bad experience, and I had a few of those. So, mm-mm,
Yeah.
mm-mm.
All
It
right.
would not. It wouldn't make me who I am today on this podcast, giving information out. I'm not ashamed of it. It is what it is. So
And I'm not asking dumb questions. I hope.
no.
I'm just trying to
No.
get to the bottom of it and be
Yeah.
realistic, financially realistic.
Yeah.
You
Did
know?
you learn some stuff tonight? I'm not like. I'm just saying. Did we
Yeah.
convey the message? Yeah. Okay, good.
Yeah. Start
Be
setting
glad
it
to.
up right away.
Yeah.
Bring your family as
Like
a
Tim said, be your
partner,
own advocate.
not as right.
Everything.
Bring them
Good
in
deal.
as a partnership the whole every step of the way. Your support
Yeah.
system needs to be your support system the whole way
Yeah.
Yep. And being an advocate, that
for
also means.
success.
Sorry. That also means your psychiatry, your meds, like also be an advocate for that too, because that's going to determine how you mentally feel even. And even if the meds aren't kicking in yet, you're a month in, a couple weeks, you might feel better. So like you got to square that away so you're not worried about it. And then you got to take what you can from the program and implement it into your life. You can't be messing around with meds and wondering what's going on. I've been in that situation too, and it took away from what I should have been looking at. Could not get my meds in order. 20 days, they just didn't figure it out. So I learned how to do that. So that's why I'm here, I think, to do this.
It's
It's
like
hard.
going through an abbreviated boot camp, and then they just put you out in the field with a gun and you know go defend the country.
Yep,
18-year
pretty
old
much.
kids.
Yep, 18-year-old kids. Here, my benefit was I could get along with 18-year-old kids that had the neck tattoo. I can get along with Tommy's guy who's 70 billion years old. So yeah, I could connect with people. But I'm also an asshole. You know what I mean? And I don't like hypocrisy and grandstanding. I don't like it. You know, and I just really don't. And I'm gonna start. I'm gonna start trouble. That's what I do. That's my
He
track record.
Tim likes to point out the obvious.
Yeah, I do. I do. And somebody's delusional. I don't know if I know him or not. I'm like, bro, you're fucking stupid. You know that? Delusional. You're not a manager. You don't take care of us. You just make sure we flush the toilet. So there's a lot of bullshit out there, and yeah, it pisses me off because 90% of people are not getting what they need coming out of a
Oh,
treatment center.
I've got a quick good one. at at GLR, there was a dude that pissed in the sink. He
Oh
didn't
yeah.
want to wait on the restroom,
Yep.
and he pissed in the sink.
So
And I will tell you, when this guy moved in, I just did not get a good vibe, and so
yeah.
I hid. I took all my stuff out of the bathroom,
Mm-hmm.
and I did not take my watch off,
Mm-mm.
and I was very careful because you just never know with people. And yeah,
Yeah.
he ended up getting kicked out after that incident,
Yeah.
obviously.
In his defense, I have pissed in the sink at
Yeah. Me too.
Eagles games
Mm-hmm.
Well,
because
but you,
the line was just too long. I was either going to pee
Agreed.
my pants or pee in a
Agreed.
sink in
Yep.
the
well, this
restroom
was a
at
kitchen sink.
football game.
Yeah. Totally
Oh,
different. Mike
This was
knows.
a kitchen sink.
Yeah. Mike's aware. So like, I used to go to the Spectrum, Mike, where the Flyers used to play, and the
yeah, yeah.
Sixers, the old building. And if you go downstairs to go to the bathroom, and it's a pee trough. There's no urinals or
Oh,
anything like that. It's a
yeah.
trough, like we're animals,
Texas
and we're all
A&M
just
Stadium used
we're
to be
all
like that.
our dicks are all out, and we're all peeing in the teeth. It's ridiculous. I think they got better with the whatever center, whatever they call it now. So yeah, but like he did me one better, peeing in the sink. I pissed on the floor, so
Right.
it is what it is. I don't remember it, but like apparently I did. So yeah, sober livings are an important thing. I'm glad we brought them up because that is the next thing you're dealing with after rehab. It's scary. It is scary getting dropped off at a sober living house. I can attest to that. I was a 39-year-old man and I'm scared to go in. I'm being told what I can and can't do by a 25-year-old guy who all he did is relapse and go to treatment, relapse, go to treatment, and like it's tough to find. Some of them will go to AA meetings. You know what I mean? As a group or one guy out of 10. Um, but you got to look for it yourself. It's not being given to you. There's no food. There's none of that. So I want to share my shirt real quick. Take a look at this beauty. Am I right? Who designed that thing? It's fantastic. Me. So yeah, camo shirts are very expensive. I'm not taking orders on that. So I don't know. Let's all give each other high fives. Mike, I got one right here. All right. Good job, everybody. Um, an hour and 9 minutes. Yeah, we can go for a couple more. We need to answer this email. Uh, we got an email. Clean time. No, it's not. What the hell? Where did it go?
Email.
I know what it
Email.
is. I don't see it. Did I email that to you, Tommy?
No.
That's great. Where is this email? Oh, I got it. Found it. Um, his name's Ron, and he said, I got into an accident and injured 5 people, and one of them was paralyzed. All of the all the people were under the age of 21. So a bunch of kids driving a car got creamed by this guy. Rigorous honesty, you guys talk about. Yes, we do. I've been so conflicted because my binge and out of control drinking starts on the 21st, the anniversary of the accident. And it happened a year ago. I have three kids myself, and I haven't seen a clean day since the accident. And my daughters organized an intervention last night. They had it ready to go to treatment. There was a driver there. I just said no. I would go to treatment the next day, and I am on my way to treatment now. So I guess what to expect because he's never in the treatment. First off, you're killing me, dude. Like that's a rough one. Like, listen, I'm not judging you. I could have killed people 10 times. Like but like you just happen to. You're probably not a bad guy. You have enough wherewithal to email us and tell us what's going on with you. So yeah, what to expect is everything we just talked about. Inpatient, PHP, good sober living. Um, Dude, I feel for you. I really do. If I had to carry that burden, be honest with you, Ron, I wouldn't do well. I wouldn't. So I'm not blaming you. You caused the accident. I know that. So, that's a weight on your shoulders. But carrying it around and falling apart on the anniversary of the accident, that's healthy. So at least you're in treatment when that happens. It's the 14th. Yeah, the 21st is coming right up. So, Ron, we love you. There's no judgment here. Just stay in contact with us. We'll help you through whatever you're not experiencing. Tommy, what do we say to Ron, who killed 5 people or hurt 5 people and paralyzed one? I can't even wrap my mind around. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I mean, like you said, I appreciate him having the wherewithal to
Hmm.
reach out.
Yeah,
And, that shows where we are as a podcast, that our listeners and
yeah,
viewers can write in just about stuff like this. And,
yeah,
I would tell him to focus on the treatment ahead.
yeah. Yep.
And, an intervention was staged for a reason.
Hmm.
And your family cares about you and wants you to get well.
Yeah.
And, I realize that there is a ton on the conscious with what happened.
Hmm.
But focus on yourself and get well and utilize therapy.
Yeah.
Like I've shared on previous podcasts, therapy for me really helped me. It helped
Sure.
me release a lot of baggage that I had inside, that I had held in and I was self-medicating with. Talk to someone about it and talk about your feelings, talk about your emotions. And, yeah, it's going to be tough, but they're there to listen and provide counsel and get you through this hard time in your life. But the most important thing is to get well. And,
It's
I would say to, yeah, as Tim said, keep in touch and we're rooting for you,
hmm
but one day at a time in treatment and,
yeah,
and get well and rack the sober days up and utilize the therapy is
yeah.
what I would say.
And he'll be in treatment for this anniversary that bugs him out. So he's not going to have that option to run out the door, go get a pint. I mean,
Yeah.
he might hear something at 8:30 in the morning. Some other guy has an anniversary where his wife died or whatever. So he'll be in treatment for this event. And I don't know. He. Not a lot of people do that. They drink themselves into a hole and
Yeah.
try to kill themselves.
Yeah.
He wants to live. He's
Yeah.
making a conscious decision to go to rehab right now.
He needs to get
Also,
off the pity party. I can see when he's looking ahead already to the 21st that he can
hmm
really tear it up. It's
yeah,
almost like he's going to have a special pity party on that day.
yeah,
Look, his story is not finished. His
yeah,
Yeah.
story is going to be compelling. His story can change lives. It injured a life, but it can save lives too.
Yeah.
Get himself cleaned up. Get himself this in the rearview mirror. That's first,
hmm
and then be an advocate so
Yeah.
people don't drink and drive. I know you didn't mean to hit these people. I know it. I know you started driving that night like you have 1,000 other times that you
sure,
shouldn't have drove. This time your luck ran out. And this is part of your story that you can tell people and change their lives and make them stop when they think oh, it won't happen to me. Well, it happened and it happened to you in somebody's life. You need to learn eventually how to forgive yourself. So definitely there's got to be some mental health counseling along with separate from, with, but separate from
Hmm.
what you're feeling inside as
Mike,
a man, as a father. Okay.
that's a great point. I remember I was at an AA meeting where the guy told his story, and he killed three people in New Brunswick. He was drunk, went over the median, killed all three of them. He was giving his testimony, and it was strong. He started off with that, and it was 20 years ago, whatever. It was the early 90s, and that didn't define him. He figured out a way to make that connection, that he got to a point where he saw what you saw, Mike, or that you're saying. He saw, you know what? This doesn't have to run me. It can be part of my testimony, and maybe I can convince somebody else not to drive and drink.
Yeah.
It probably does.
Yeah. Yeah. That's well said, Mike.
I
Don't
said
look at it
something
as
good
a pity
too.
party.
Yeah. No, I know, Tim.
I just joking. I'm just joking. Yeah, no, Mike, that is for a non-addict. I mean, you're understanding the emotional side of
Yeah.
it, and that's hard because you're putting yourself in his shoes, and they're not easy shoes to wear. So, great question. Is it going
Yeah.
to define him or is it going to kill him? One of the two things.
Yeah.
I agree. I agree.
You
It's a
know.
shame. It's a shame all the way around.
Did you guys know that
There he
something
is.
happened? Something happened with Trump the other day. I'm not really
Yeah.
following it. I think he got shot in the ear. I don't know. Haven't heard
That
anything on.
picture will be in our textbooks someday.
Yep.
And, my heart goes out to the people that lost their lives over
Yeah.
Agreed. I'm
this
not
stupid
being.
thing.
I
Yeah.
don't mean to be cavalier. I'm just joking around.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just. He's on the news everywhere. I cannot believe what I saw.
Yeah.
What he experienced. This is a great. I don't mind going an hour and 16 because I watched. I looked at our analytics, and people are staying to the end. They're watching the whole show at an hour. So, or they're listening to it. They're in the car.
Yeah.
So another 15, 20 minutes does not bother me. It's we're doing a good thing. I'm happy we're doing it. The day counter app, you can track your days. I made this. I don't know, 40 days ago. That's my clean time. 40 days ago, whatever it is. Um, let's see the NA meeting app. It's tough to work with, but it'll find you NA meetings, which are a little tougher to find than AA meetings, but you can find them. Some of them are attached to the AA meeting, so that's a good thing. And then the meeting finder app, that's I believe that's only on Apple. That's why you can only find it. I think it's on App Store too. So whatever, that'll
Or
get you to a
Google Play.
meeting. Google Play. It'll get you to a meeting.
Yeah.
So there's no excuse. I don't know where a meeting is. I can't get there. Go get yourself to that meeting, raise your hand and say, I need help getting here.
Yeah.
10 people will come up to you and say, where do you
Oh
live?
yeah.
I'll pick you up every night.
Yep.
There is no experience. There is no reason
Yeah.
not to go, and there's therapy there. Even if you don't believe in the 12 steps or whatever, or you're not ready to do that, you're still amongst other
Yeah.
addicts that understand you. Nobody's going to label you. You know what I mean? So just go
Yeah.
get the help. Go get the help because sometimes that's your only option. So,
Yeah. At every AA meeting, they will
hmm
get everyone to raise their hand if they're able to be a sponsor.
yeah, they
And
ask for
so,
members first. So you
yeah.
can kind of see that there's double the amount of members
Yeah.
than there are sponsors. You can go to any one of those people and they're
Yeah.
like, I can't do it, but Michael do it.
Yeah.
You know, it's a great thing.
Yeah.
Go get the camaraderie. Go get the connection with people that it used to scare you from going to meetings, connecting with people. Now it's the reason you're going to go to meetings
Yeah.
because you feel safe and you feel good. You're doing something. They are too. You know what I mean? You're not alone. You finally feel not alone.
Yeah.
I
It's
used to
like
go
they're
to A.
not. They're your people now.
Yep. I
Yeah.
used to go to.
That's
I
how
used
I
to go to.
feel.
I went to AA meetings. Me and my wife were getting along, and I would tell her, "I'm going to a meeting. I'm not on drugs." I go to the meeting. I sit there in a parking lot, smoke cigarettes till it's done. Drive back. So I was afraid to go in and connect with people. I was afraid of being exposed. You know what I mean? I was already semi-exposed, and I didn't like it. So I was just going through the motions. But yeah, I would go and smoke cigarettes. I would not connect with anybody. I wouldn't even go in. And then all this shit happened in my life, and I started going to meetings, and I found out that stuff I was scared of. It was the reason I didn't go to meetings. Now it's the reason I go to meetings. So don't be afraid. You'll be
Well said.
okay. There's a Tommy
Yeah.
in every meeting that'll help you.
Yeah.
So, all
Yep.
right, guys, thank you for a
Good job,
great
boys.
episode. Very fun.
Yep.
Check us out on the app. No app store. Check us out on Google Play or Google whatever it is. Google Music. The App Store for Apple. The App Store. The app. What is it? I'm looking at it. Apple Music. You can tell how much I look at that. Apple Music, they got our thing on there. They don't count my days, so I don't care, or my attendance. The best one to do is Spotify. You get our video presentation, and you get to see us as we talk and sound silly. So I would suggest that. I know a lot of you listen in your car, so we appreciate that too. We try to cater to that. But yeah, we're excited. We appreciate everybody. We appreciate Tommy. We appreciate Mike. I'm the best there is, so like there's that too. So we love you guys. Anything you need, we will stop what we're doing, and you're gonna get the help. So
Yeah.
we're here for you. Thank you so much for listening, and I don't know where the outro is. Here it is.